Okay, let's go. Good morning. How is everybody doing on this fine Thursday morning? It's still cold. It's perfect. The weather is perfect. Just stay like this all year long. High is 65, low of 42 ish. Beautiful. So, what did we have last night? Boy, Montreal. Montreal watched my video about can they win the Atlantic and said, yeah, hold my beer. Montreal just winning all sorts of ways, and now it's not even Montembeault that's doing the damage. It's Dobish only allowing one goal last night. But I got to look at his stats. He's been playing crazy good right now. So the Eastern Conference has their work cut out for them. Montreal, I think, is better than some people expected. So. All right, how we doing? Let's see what we got. Craig says could be a rough game tonight. The Cats are on their normal first game home from a road trip. Yeah, I know. No doubt there. Collins and net tonight, so we'd expect to see Tarasov against the Ducks. That sounds about right. Sam, the Pens have been playing really good lately. The Panthers have to get off to a good start. Yeah, well, and we got to play a good second period too, right? This team has had the tendency the last year to believe that a 2-0 lead means the game is over. Hey, Simon, how we doing, buddy? So yeah, the first month went by. Well, is it? Well, what the heck am I? Oh, I didn't. I went to put in the standings, and it brought me to a completely different site. So the Canadians. Here, let me share this page. Let's see what we got here. So there's Montreal, 12 points, 6-2. And pay no attention to the 21 goals in the 8 games, even though that's still less than 3 goals a game. Dobish's numbers right now are insane. Especially after last night. He's sporting a 147 and a 950. Yikes. That's really good. And look, last year he was decent, right? 274 and a 909, only started 15 games. But so even if he reverts to, 2.5 and 9.25, that's still practically Vezina caliber numbers. I know it's 4 games in, but just saying, he's playing well. The Wings did lose, and then there's Florida. You got Toronto, Buffalo won again. They're not awful, okay? And then the Lightning play tonight. I think the Devils won again yesterday. So there's some, and here's Penguins at 5-2. They're playing better than some teams thought, some people thought. And then over in the West, poor Calgary, man, bro, where's the Flames? 13 goals in 8 games. Good Lord. 13 goals in 8 games. 1-6-1. Now, that's an example of a team that is going to play themselves out of a playoff possibility by Halloween, practically. Practically. I mean, I know it's early to be talking about that, but 1-6-1 is horrific. I mean, like the Oilers are treading water at 3-3. The Kraken lost a couple games. The Ducks are treading water. So there's always room for them to be able to move up. But it's just bad in Calgary, man. They only scored 1 game again last night. Or 1 goal again last night is what I'm trying to say. What's my prediction for the Lions? Hopefully the same as the last game, Simon. That's all we want to see is some consistency now, right? Hey, Derek, how you doing, bud? Kind of says, when the Habs eventually play the Panthers, we know what Panthers need to show up. Yeah. I mean, they beat us all 4 times last year. I don't know, man. I don't know. I said it last year. I kind of felt like that's why Washington didn't get past Carolina in the second round. I felt like Montreal just made them skate and skate and skate and skate and wore them out. I wouldn't want to play Montreal in the first round. I'll tell you right now, if Montreal is going to win that division, Panthers, you want that third spot. I do not want to play Montreal in the first round, even with Barkov coming back. Sam, yeah, the Sharks still can't win a game. I know. Hey, Jameson. Hey, Dean. Yeah, so that's right. So you guys got 4 days off since we play you on Saturday. Vegas has 4 days off since Monday's win over the Canes. Oh, boy. But no Hill, no Stone Hannafin. Yeah, that's a 6 o'clock game, too. Who do we play in the middle? I know we play Pittsburgh. And no, this is Thursday, John. So with Pittsburgh and then Vegas. I mean, Panthers need to, at least get 2 points out of those two games. We got to at least stay 50-50. You know what I mean? Vegas has been playing well, obviously. Same, yeah, the Flames and the Kings. The Kings, I think, will sort it out a little bit. Yeah, exactly, Hungry. Yeah, Calgary is they can't score. It's unbelievable. James, yeah, give me Sabrango. I don't know if we'll see any changes tonight. Maurice tends to not make a ton of changes when we won games, but if we're going to see it, I would assume that so there you go. Colin says the lines are the same, right? Craig says now the losing streak doesn't look so bad since those teams are fairly solid teams early in the season. There are multiple teams, right, in both conferences that are surprising people. I don't think people thought the Wings were going to be this good. I don't think people thought the Senators and Lightning would be this bad. Who does Tampa play tonight? Let me see. Oh, that's icy. Hold on a second. I should have. The Lightning play. Oh, geez, they play the Blackhawks today. That's not a gimme. The Lightning they've shored up their defense a little bit from the beginning, right? They were really allowing a lot of goals, but they lost to the Wings 2-1. They lost to the Capitals 3-2, and they lost to the Jackets 3-2. So it looks like the defense goaltending is looking up a little bit. And, Chicago, these teams don't suck anymore, Sam says Montreal setting themselves up as cup contenders in a few years. I mean, look, I don't want to, how can I put this? They've got an opportunity this year to go far. You know what I mean? They gained a little bit of playoff experience last year. And if Dobish is going to take that step, he's 24. And if he's going to take a step to being that caliber of a goalie, stranger things have happened. I know they don't have a ton of experience, but the competition that they, Florida, Tampa, might be a little bit, dinged up right now. Toronto, can you trust Toronto? Like, I'm not trusting Toronto to beat Montreal. Like, if it's not going to be Florida out of the Atlantic, I would be shocked at this point if it wasn't Montreal. And then, Montreal Devils, that'd be an Eastern Conference final that have some interest. The Canes, I think Montreal might beat the Canes if their goaltending is going to do well. Hungry, he's asking about why Sabrango hasn't joined the team yet. Somebody on the stream the other day said something about he's got visa issues, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because these guys travel internationally all the time. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but maybe they just wanted to get him situated and maybe he'll get some playing time on a homestand. Dean says, we'll now see how Akira Schmid will do. He tends to do better in relief appearances as opposed to starting the game. Right. So, Hill's going to be out for a few weeks. Vegas will be okay. They always find ways to win games. Yeah, the Hawks have been good. Kenneth says, tonight, Sharks at the Rangers. Rangers have 1 goal in total of 4 games at MSG. Dang. That's historically bad. Oh, I'm not doing score predictions, Simon. I got out of that business. I got out of the score prediction business. Jason, as far as I know, Uvis wasn't benched. Vincent says, tell me what is wrong with you if you think the Sharks get their first win against the Rangers tonight. That's what I asked for. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but a couple of streams ago when I looked at the Sharks schedule, I said, why don't we have their first win be against the Rangers? Because that would cause the Ranger fans to go into conniption fits. Where's the game? Is it in San Jose or is it at MSG? Let me see. Good grief. So the game is in New York. Boy, that's even better. Come on, San Jose. Get your first win in MSG. Come on, San Jose. Do the thing. Sam says the Habs remind you of the 08, 09 Hawks. Yeah, they're going to be a pain in the ass for a while. Vincent says Canadians don't have Balinskis. I don't see them as proper contenders yet. Don't forget Bournefoot. Somehow both of those cats have been on both. They've been on both rosters. You know what I mean? I don't think Bournefoot has any. I mean, Bournefoot didn't get a day with the cup or anything like that, but they've been on the ice in uniform both times celebrating. But Balinskis earned it last year. Oh, hungry, yeah. If Montreal beats the Leafs in the playoffs, yeah. Goat Slayer says, call tonight a scouting measure for Crosby. See if he's fit enough for the system. Yeah, if he only had 1 year on his contract, I could get excited about that possibility. But Pittsburgh's better than us right now. They got a better record. I think they got a better record than us. Right? Yeah, they're 5-2 with 10 points, and we're 4-4 at 8. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Hungry. Hey, JC. Gene says the Rangers might actually win a home game, and the score might. So San Jose. Where are we? San Jose's 0-4-2. So they do have a couple of games that have gotten to overtime. But they've had some high-scoring games. Mammoths, that's preseason. But Mammoth 6, Sharks 4. Ducks 7, Sharks 6. Mammoth 6, Sharks 3. Islanders 4, Sharks 3. I mean, the Sharks can score a few goals here or there. The only game they got shut up by the Penguins, and the Hurricanes only allowed 1 goal. But they played Vegas tight on opening day. And so I think it would be fun if the Rangers finally got 5 goals and had a ton of scoring and then still lost 6-5 to San Jose. That would be fun. Yeah. In fact, if it happens, I'll make a video about it, just out of spite. That'll give me something to do. Yeah. Hold on a second. Vincent says, I just feel like they're going to need another defenseman to add. Petrie Gamble doesn't look good still. Look at Burns at 40 years old. That was the guy. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do it. Petrie, Balinskis, again, IDK. Well, if Sabrango's can't get into the country yet, if he's not, because I don't think Bournefoot. But what about Benning? Yeah, somebody had brought that up the other day. Benning played well during the preseason. Like, why not give him an opportunity? Get some some energy going. So Aaron says Petrie was fine with Kulikov. Balinskis is who you have to replace. Well, yeah. JC says Petrie ain't it. I've been saying this. He's not quick or smart and zero toughness. Like Aaron is saying, Petrie was okay with Kulikov. But Kulikov's going to be out for 5 months. He ain't coming back tomorrow. Sarango listed on IR on Puckpedia. That's interesting. Huh. All right. Well, what about Benning? I mean, hell, as long as, Balinskis is what Balinskis is. We have the cap space. We could just call it, can't we give Benning a little bit of an opportunity? Is that right, Vincent? Oh, that's Kyle walking around. That would be the guy, when did we draft Benning? So, yeah, and Aaron says, remember everyone remember how Schmidt looked early on. Petrie will be fine. He needs a good partner. And that's true. We've been talking about how last year at this point we were looking at Schmidt, a certain way. But Schmidt was 4 years younger. So, or Hovo. Yeah, either one, Craig. Balinskis, though, he's been in the system. He's been here. It's weird because it looks like his skating is better this year, but the turnovers have just been awful. So, I don't know. As long as we're not going to be playing real physical, what the hell did we draft Benning for, right? When did we draft him? Oh, come on now. We drafted Benning. We did draft Benning, right? Yeah. Geez, 2020 entry draft. So he's been around for a couple of years, right? So he's 23 right now. 5'9", $177. But like if we weren't going to play him, if we weren't going to give him a chance in the NHL level because of his height, then why did we draft the guy? Right? So he's got a little bit of upside offensively. He had 9 goals with Charlotte last year, 9 the year before. He's now in his third complete season. He played 3 years of college. He's now in his third season in the AHL. Like, why did we draft this kid if we weren't going to give him an opportunity when we're at the point where we are now, where it's like we've got a good enough roster. If we can win games with Balinskis, let Benning get on the ice a little bit and see what we got there. He looked good in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but JC says Schmidt was not turning the puck over as consistently as Petrie. Schmidt was making hits and blocking shots. Yeah, Schmidt just looked slow trying to keep up with the play. You know what I mean? But with Balinskis, it's both of them at this point. Yeah, Balinskis definitely making unforced errors. Like I said in the recap, like I have not played hockey, but I for those of you who had played hockey, I would assume, just completely guessing, but I would assume that like rule number 1 when you're a defenseman with the puck on your stick in your own zone is don't try to clear the zone through the middle of the ice. I'm just assuming that. Is that accurate? Because that's what Balinskis continues to try to do. Vince says Balinskis was always hit or miss guy on average. Okay, but Petrie does find us a D. Anderson will take up $2.25 million. So I'm not sure. That's accurate, Panther. Use the boards. Right. That's what I figured. That's what he's over and over and over again. Like Richie said, yep. So, yeah. I mean, it just makes logical sense, right? It just makes logical sense. All right, let's look at defensemen. Let's see if we can find somebody. Just for the sake of argument. Let's see. Let's go to defensemen. This is one area we haven't looked at. We haven't looked at this. Jameson says that's like the number one rule of D. Don't put the puck in dangerous position in front of your own net. Right. Okay, so looking at who's going to be a free agent, so Cale Makar. Colorado don't want Makar. Just go get Makar. They're not going to re-sign him. That guy's a bum. Hey, do you think Detroit will give us back Sherrod and just count the first-round pick we already used on him a few years ago? Right? So you have to look at teams that are going to – and we can't afford any of these guys. If you look at, hey, what about Gabranson? $4 million. If they ate half of his contract, you want Gabranson back? The names on here aren't spectacular. Connor Murphy's still there. He must have just got a one-year deal. Rasmus Anderson's available if Calgary continues to tank. Dumba, Moser, Clifton. I mean, Ferraro in San Jose. Luke Shen in Winnipeg. Andrew, hey, let's go get Peak. Since he already scored a goal for us, what about Andrew Peak? Uyghur, yeah. Trade for Darlene. Gabranson needs a cup, yeah. I mean, can you imagine winning another cup with a bottom pair of Gabranson and Kulikov? I started the channel because I was pissed that we traded Gabranson and Kulikov. That would be the bookends. I'd have to retire at that point. Go get Gabranson. Kulikov comes back. My 10th season, we win 3 cups in a row. I started the channel because we traded Kulikov and Gabranson, and then I closed the channel because they get back together. We win 3 cups in a row, and good night. And I can go start OnlyFans. Uyghur. Is Uyghur on? Craig says Belinskas is trying to play like he doesn't want to make mistakes, but ends up making mistakes. Yeah. Kenneth says maybe in Latvia he put it up the middle and never had an issue. Huh. I never thought of that. Never thought of that. Uyghur wasn't on that list, was he? He's got a contract. Yeah. I'm looking to see. I'm telling you, go get Andrew Peak. He already scored for us. He clearly wants to stay. Looking at teams that might move players towards the end, it's hard to say now because there's teams that we would think might move guys, but they're going to be decent. I'm looking to. I mean, Riley, he's with Carolina. They're not going to get Brent Burns. Where is he? Colorado. No. Horvolk. What about Horvolk? Geez, Horvolk is going to be 26 years old soon. Like, are we ever going to give that kid a shot as well? We clearly need to draft better on defense. That's for sure. Vincent says, retire now. I'm so lazy. Where's my imagination? Awesome. What about Gudis? Gudis, I still think, has term on his deal. I think Gudis still has term on his deal. I would take him, but how much is his contract? And the thing about it is, some of these teams, I mean, things will separate itself out towards the end, towards closer to the trade deadline. He's making $4 million. So this is his last year. That's weird. Did I just not get to I must not have got down to his name. Deal includes a no trade clause in the first year. So if Anaheim Who said that? That's a good idea. He is going to be a free agent. So Anaheim ain't trading Gudas. Well, they're in the last year of his contract, though. So, but he's their captain. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. How old is he? How old is Gudas? 35. I don't know. I mean, are we so sure that that's impossible? Yeah, Gudas is the captain. I know. But yeah, Gudas and Kulikov on the bottom pair. I mean, if Anaheim was out of the playoff mix and Florida called and said, hey, do you think Radko wants to come back? Do you think he would say no? I mean, Anaheim would have to take half his salary, but we would have enough money to give him a little bit of a salary next year, or he could just come win a cup. Gudas Kulikov sounds nice. Yeah, Hungry says it's not like we haven't traded for someone's captain in the past. Panther, yeah, no, I know. They're looking to push for the wild card. Yeah, they would have to be out of it. They would have to be, and that's where it gets tough, because I have a feeling this year, from the way it looks, honestly, especially in the West, but it could be the East too. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot more teams that could possibly make it. The Blackhawks are at least mid now. The Blues are mid. The Wild are mid. The Stars aren't playing well. And there's the Ducks, right? I mean, if the playoffs started today, the Ducks would maybe be in. So, and you've got some teams up there like the Kraken. Are the Kraken going to finish in third? Probably not. Are the Mammoth going to finish in third? Probably not. So there's going to be room for some teams. So yeah, it's going to be hard to really gauge which teams might be sellers, and some teams just might not want to be selling, even though they're 3 points out, 4 points out. Yeah, Hungry. Yeah, Gudas would be a good fit. Now that money, though, I don't know if we could afford him if Barkov comes back. Yeah, it's possible Utah could get a wild card spot. A lot of these teams, it's going to depend on if their goaltending can continue to play maybe above. You know what I mean? Some of these goalies are playing kind of out of their minds right now, and it's not all of them are going to sustain that. You know what I mean? Hey, David, how you doing, buddy? Working on your day off? That's good times. Yeah, that's good times. But that's why you're rich, David, right? Right, Dave? That's why you're rich, man. Like me, I'm working all the time and I'm rich, so I understand. I'm empathetic to it. It's all good though, man. Vincent says Kulikov wear 7, Gudas wear 7. Can we do 7.5? Can we do a 7.5? There's no 6 on the team, right? Did Gudas always wear 7? Let's see if when Radko Gudas was in. Let's see if I can find Gudas with another jersey, like maybe when he was younger, where he wasn't wearing 7. Let's see. He looks happy, though. These are all Ducks. No, he was wearing 7 there. What is this that he wore in Washington? Looks like he was wearing 33. He's in a 33 jersey in the Capitals. So maybe he'd wear something else. Trying to see what else. Is that a 3 or a 30? In Philadelphia, he was wearing just a 3. So I don't think the jersey number would be a big problem. David says, YouTube Bob Marley answer to you are rich. Are you rich? YouTube Bob Marley answer to are you rich? I'll have to check that out. Yeah, he wore 3 in Philly. Hungry says, Dostal is very good. I think their success hinges more on them being able to continue producing offensively. Yeah, 77 would be Mikula, right? Yeah, he's had 3. Or give him 8. Yeah, Hungry, exactly. Or David, yeah, be good to win tonight to keep the home streak going, right? Hey, Jaws, how you doing? Oh, Jaws, geez, great white. I'm just getting old now. Want to hear a crazy story? NHL Network stopped showing me Panther games. They said Clearwater and Sunrise are in the same place. What? How? I mean, did you send them, did you send them a map? Great White, did you send them a map? What the hell do you want? Let me guess, eBay code.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You'll have to look for.
Oh yeah, I got there's like yeah. Well, you got to tell me. I didn't recognize. The last one that I got. You ready? 086 953. Okay. I'll look at the phone in case you have to do it again. Okay. Poor kid. We still can't figure out what's going on with his computer. It just keeps logging him out of eBay just in the middle of doing stuff. So I'll have to look and see what the hell happened. Great White. That's crazy, man. I remember some of you were old enough to remember the actual blackouts on regular broadcast TV. And what it was for football specifically, if the game didn't sell out when there was 72 hours before, was it sell out or sell enough tickets? I forget if it had to be a sellout. I think it had to be a sellout. But if they didn't sell out within 72 hours of kickoff, the game will be blacked out on TV. So what would happen sometimes is, let's say there was 5,000 seats left, and the TV station, yeah, Kenneth, it was a sellout, yeah. So the TV station would buy the remaining tickets so that they could show the game because they'd make the money back in the ad revenue. But if there was too many tickets left, then they wouldn't, and the game wouldn't be on TV. But it was a 75-mile radius from the stadium. So we'd have to drive, like from where we lived, we would drive, I want to say, I don't know if West Palm Beach, I wasn't far enough, but like maybe like Fort Pierce, Jupiter area. And the sports bars would have the huge big ass satellite dishes, and you could see the games. Or they just had it on regular broadcast TV before Jacksonville came in. But when Jacksonville came in, the stuff that wasn't Dolphins was made Jacksonville area, and it was a mess back then too. Hey, thank you, Merritt. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated. Appreciate you joining the memberships. We got for the members, we have a half-hour live stream every night before the Panther game. So if face-off is at 7:00, member stream starts at 6:30, and then that goes right into the regular game stream. Appreciate that. David says, I lived in Stewart. We had to drive just north of Fort Pierce. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. And yeah, you'd have to drive 75 miles. and to go see the stinking game. And I always tell the story about the 1986 playoff game between the Dolphins and Browns. It was Marino and Kosar. And the Dolphin fans were so spoiled because we'd been to the Super Bowl and Marino was so good. They were so spoiled that it was a playoff game and they didn't sell out the game. And the game wasn't on TV. So we had to listen to it on the radio, a freaking playoff game. It was absurd. Great game, too. Hey, Zach, you sent me an email with information on the Warriors. Just all right, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. You know I forget everything. Hey, Sabres fan, how you doing? You won a good game last night there, eh? Open up this window. Okay. Need some fresh air. It gets stuffy in here. Yeah. Good job, Buffalo. You guys don't suck anymore, huh? So is there hope in Buffalo? Like, are the Buffalo fans cautiously optimistic? I mean, you guys are at least at close to 500, right? What are the games we got tonight? Blackhawks, Lightning. Come on, Chicago. No offense to the Lightning fans. I know I got a lot of Lightning fans to watch this channel, but any team in the Atlantic that loses a game is better for my Panthers because that's one more game we don't have to win to make the playoffs. The Ducks play the Bruins, Red Wings, Islanders, Penguins and Panthers, Flyers and Senators. It's going to be like 500 goals scored in that game. Sharks are going to beat the Rangers and MSG. Preds, Canucks, Kraken, Jets. The Mammoth and Blues. Canadiens play the Oilers tonight. Oh, Montreal just played last night too. Edmonton gets them on the second of a back-to-back. Hurricanes and Avalanche and Kings and Stars. So one of the Kings and Stars are going to continue to look back, right? Because Stars are 3-3. Kings 2-3-2. Not good. But a lot of these teams are just starting slow. Yeah, we got to make Jari look like Stuart Skinner in Game 7. Well, he only allowed 2 goals, though. How about we make him look like Olmark in Game 5, was it? Was 5 the one or was 6 the one? Which one was the game against Boston where it was like 21-20? Was that 5 or 6? 3-1. No, 5 was the one that was the breakaway Marchand missed. So it was Game 6. Yeah. Panthers said we got to make Jari look like Game 6 Stuart Skinner, right? Yeah, it was Game 6. Yeah. I did, Zach. He says, did I see the end of the Montreal Calgary game with the pass from Demidov? I did. That's what I mean, man. Montreal is they're going to be a pain in the ass. Kenneth says the Kings are waiting to see where the Oilers finish in the standings, and we'll get points. We'll get points according to avoid them in round 1. That's a good strategy, though, Kenneth. It honestly is. That's what I would do if I was them, right? You know, trust me. Like the Canes. I'm sure the Canes would rather play. Now I gotta close this. The freaking sun is too bright. I'm sure the Canes would rather play Montreal than the Panthers again in the Eastern Conference Finals. We'll put it that way, right? They're probably sick and tired of playing us. Vincent says, trade for Hagee. Oh, you think it's Montreal too small? I don't know, man. I understand what you're saying. Hagee's not going anywhere, Vince. So what are we supposed to do? Sable's Ellie's debut was last night. Colton Ellie's debut was last night. Was special too for. So is that from last night's game? Let me see. Colton Ellis, 2 goals on 29 shots. Not too bad. Now, is he going to be your backup? Is he going to be considered your backup? What's the story with him? Yeah, don't forget the Dolpe goal. Yeah. You were there. Yeah. Vince says, imagine if the Kraken and Canucks squeeze out the Oilers this year. But then we can't beat the Oilers for the 3rd time straight in the finals. That's who we need to play, Vincent. You know what I mean? If we want to win 3 straight, we got to play Edmonton, man. You know what I mean? With Barkov and Crosby and Gudas. Now, how do we make that happen? I know your answer would be trade for Hagee, right? It'll be Lyon and Ellis. Yeah. Lyon has been playing well, so that's gonna, as long as But is Ellis supposed to be like the goalie of the future? Because obviously at that, making his debut, is he supposed to be like the eventual goalie of the future? How about Vegas revenge this year? Man, I wish I had confidence against Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, Vegas is a physical team. When they play right, they're tough to beat. But it's a long season. We'll see. Right now, confidence is hard to come by because the way these guys are playing is just not like anything like themselves. And I know a lot of times last year we said they're waiting for the playoffs, and then the playoffs came. But don't forget, they almost sticked around and lost to Toronto. Yeah, good point. They got Marner. Good point, Vincent. We almost sticked around and lost to Toronto last year. I think for us to three-peat, there's going to have to be another Brad Marchand infusion. Now, I know getting Tkachuk will help, and maybe that's it. Maybe Tkachuk coming back all fresh and rested. Maybe that'll be what the Marchand-like infusion of energy will be. David says, I play poker, so I have friends in Vegas. They say there's less tourists than any time than I remember. Hotels and casinos got too greedy. And also, David, it's like with all the gambling online, you know what I mean? Like when I grew up, if you wanted to go to a casino, you had to fly to Vegas. I think Atlantic City at that point too as well. And so now everything's available. You can sit at home and have somebody deliver your gourmet food from a restaurant. You got a 150-inch TV screen. You can watch that screen. You can have multi-view of all the games. You can gamble right there on your laptop. It's like the comforts of being at home, or it's just like what's the benefit in flying out or driving some, like you're saying, 10 hours, or you have 10 casinos within an hour's drive. Yeah, that's right, Craig. Yeah, the Indian casinos too. So it's like the availability of it, it's all the industries like that are going to have a tough time. They're going to have to reinvent themselves somehow. You know what I mean? Like movies and music had to reinvent themselves with streaming, and who cares to go to the theater? Just watch it on Netflix. You know what I mean? The casinos are going to have to reinvent themselves and make people want to go. They're going to have to offer something different. They'll figure it out. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Tampa Panthers, let's go. Oh no, I don't want to. Well, I mean, maybe we'll play. Maybe I wouldn't mind playing them now. But they fixed their defense. The last 2 or 3 games, the defense looks better. And I'm going to assume that means Vasilevsky looks better. They'll figure it out. David, no, I did not see the gambling arrests. No. I don't I genuinely don't watch the news and stuff. I see headlines and then I just roll my eyes at things. But like anytime I spend like a day even just looking at the news or anything, it's bad enough you can't even like go to sports YouTube comment sections sometimes without seeing politics and crap like that. But I did not see that at all. Ken says the gambling sites buying up and driving the price of commercials. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Huh. I'm still waiting for one of the gambling sites to offer me a bunch of money to be a sponsor. Just want to let everybody know up front, if they're going to pay my bills, I'm not even going to play around. Like if I get offered a gambling sponsorship, I'm not in a financial position to turn that down. So I know some people don't like it, and I can empathize with that, but it's that or OnlyFans. So if you see a DraftKings advertisement on the channel, got to eat. Gotcha, Sabres. Vincent says, reinvent the real world. This is so stupid. I can't even go outside, pick up a cow or pick up a cow pie. It's front page ESPN. Gotcha. Heard a key player got caught in whatever it is that's going on. So let me see. Let me look at this. What is the story? FBI indicts 31 in explosive NBA gambling. Oh, come on, I don't want ads. I don't want to pay. I just want to read an article, for crying out loud. Can you just give me one article? 30 people related to the alleged role in explosive gambling scandal that what they do involved extensive illegal gambling rings. But what did they do? So Billis was charged in connection with the illegal poker operation tied to the mafia, while Rozier is accused of manipulating his performance during an NBA game to benefit illegal betting. Like they don't make enough money, you stupid, greedy bastards. Wow. So, illegal poker scheme with mafia ties, accused of using wireless cheating technology to run rigged poker games in locales like the Hamptons. Holy crap. Victims were lured to participate in the games by the chance to play alongside former professional athletes, including Billups and Jones. Wow. Wow. The alleged fraud included self-shuffling machines that had been secretly altered in order to read the cards on the deck, predict which player on the table had the best poker hand, and relay the information to an off-site operator. The off-site operator sent the information via cell phone back to a co-conspirator at the table, and that person at the table was known as the quarterback. The quarterback then signaled secretly the information he had received to others at the table, and together they used that information in order to win games and cheat the victims. Whoa. All right, come back to the chat here. Wow, man. Kenneth says, Maryland man still unaware that the world ended live at 6. Hey, if the bomb didn't affect my house, I don't know about it. You know what I mean? Wow. Hey, Reaper's Devil. Now, if the MLB would have gone after this hard gambling, honey, that's right. That's right, right? Oh, my God, Craig. So actually manipulating his performance, that's bad. Hold on, let me. That's bad, man. Yeah, Pete Rose, exactly. Right? Yeah, the Ohana thing, I don't know a whole. Kyle told me about it. Rozier missed shots on purpose. That's, I mean, as if they don't make enough money, man. As if they don't make enough money. Here, let me share the screen here. So this is what there was just so many ads. I didn't want to share it. It was just pop up after pop up. Jim Trusty, the attorney representing Terry Rozier in this matter, sent a statement to USA Today Sports in response to his client's arrest on Thursday. We have represented Rozier for over a year. Long time ago, we reached out to these prosecutors to tell them that we should have an open line of communication. They characterized Terry as a subject, not a target. But at 6 a.m. this morning, they called me to tell FBI agents we're arrest him at a hotel. It's unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op. They wanted the misplaced glory of a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations in this case. They appear to be taking the world of spectacularly incredible sources, rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, which means nothing, and these prosecutors revived that non-case. Terry is not a gambler, but he's not afraid of a fight. He looks forward to winning this fight. Wow. Nocella said the indictment that led to the arrest of Billups, Jones, and more than 30 people overall involved a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games using high-tech cheating technology to steal millions of dollars from victims in underground poker games that were secretly fixed. Holy hell in a handbasket. The years-long investigation spanned 11 states, resulted in more than 30 arrests. It implicated the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese organized crime families, according to Patel. Jeez. Trump's not going to live another week. He's going to go after the mob? The case involving Billups and Jones centers on rigged poker games. Right. The indictment also includes acts of violence, including a robbery at gunpoint in order to obtain a rigged shuffling machine, as well as extortions. The defendants laundered their proceeds, according to the Justice Department, including through cash exchanges, use of multiple shell companies, and through cryptocurrency transfers. At the center of attention in Rozier's case is a March 23 game between the Hornets and the Pelicans. Sportsbooks in several states flagged unusual betting activity on Rozier's statistics, triggering a halt on his prop bets. Rozier, who averaged 35.3 minutes and 21 points a game that season, left the game after playing just 10 minutes due to a foot injury. Justice Department officials alleged on Tuesday more than $200,000 was bet on Rozier's under in the game. Rozier's attorney previously told ESPN that the veteran guard met with the NBA and FBI several times in 23, and that the league determined Rozier had done nothing wrong. Come on. Wow. That's crazy. That's gonna be something. Hungry says, sadly, they're all sponsored by some sort of sports book. We're going to see stuff like this pop up like crazy. Right. Jaws in order. Hungry says, yeah, that's why the person closest to him is facing criminal charges and got banned for life. Oh, you're talking about Ohani, yeah. Well, either way, I don't know. So I don't know. Reaper says, I'm a Devils fan in New Jersey. Yeah, the Devils are looking good. Devils are looking good. Great White says, I need YouTube Prime. No ads. $14 a month. Well, I'm already paying for YouTube TV. I should be able to get Prime at a reduced cost. I'll look at it. Now, I've heard people say, Great White, I've heard people say that they still get ads, even though they have YouTube Prime. Yeah, when does the Netflix movie due, right? That's crazy. So here's the thing. They make it sound a certain way. And you guys know I'm always looking for the I'll defend anybody. And okay, so somebody bet $200,000 on the under, and then he left with a foot injury. But what they don't tell you, and what the question I would have is, how unusual is that amount of money? Like, would a normal day get $10,000 worth of bets on the under, and then just this one random day was 200,000, or was it like just a little bit more? Would it normally be 150, 175, but this day it was 200? Like, just how far out of the ordinary was that size of a bet? Kenneth says the over-under on the Flying Fluffy Hockey start time, noon live stream tomorrow, 12:02:37. That's good. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good number. That's about right. That is about right. Well, I just started becoming late, and then we keep winning the cup, so I can't change it now. So, Great White, you haven't seen any ads yet? Hey, Sharky, come on, man. Beat the Rangers tonight. You guys gotta do it. No offense to the Ranger fans, but if you're in the Eastern Conference, I'm rooting for you to lose every game. Colin, I'm going to have the picks video out tomorrow. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have the Thursday pick out with a post, and then I'm going to put the picks out on Friday. It's, for some reason, putting it out on Friday, that video did much better than the ones I was putting out on Thursday. I don't know why, but I just make that one little tweak. So then I'll just talk about the Thursday game in the post, and then in the previous video. David says, I watch you guys, Kings and Generals, and Professor of Rock, also some redacted CIA files, no commercials. Okay. Yeah, I like Professor of Rock. He's a good dude. I like watching his interviews. He's a good dude. Yeah, the Chargers winning tonight, but I think the Thursday game should be a good one. Yeah, I'll have to take a peek and see. Doing it on Thursday just wasn't, for whatever reason. I don't know. Hey, thank you, Zach. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Zach. Much appreciated. I will definitely. I'm going to check the email this afternoon. Trying to get into the habit of making sure I check that thing a couple times a day. It's just not. It's a different email than what's signed into my phone and all of that. I've never been able to figure out how to have multiple accounts signed in on my phone, on my laptop at the same time, multiple Google accounts, so I could check my emails. I seen that, David. Yeah, the record companies are attacking Professor of Rock and Beto since they use the music in their. It's so stupid. Which, by the way, I don't know how this happened, but a few days ago I put out a little video, and it included. It was Marchand's episode where he had the fight and threw the helmet. It was one of the hits on somebody. I forget who it was. and there was 3 long segments of NHL highlights in the video that I posted, and it didn't get copyright claimed. I don't understand how that happened. And I put it out, and it still has not got copyright claimed. And it's got 3 segments that, I mean, I show the whole thing. I don't even bother editing them because they get copyright claimed. You put something for 5 or 6 seconds, and it still gets claimed. So I don't even bother. I just played a whole segment, and it didn't get claimed. It was stupid. But then if we could have a 4-hour live stream, and if the TV's too loud and a commercial uses a song, the whole video will get copyright claimed, and I have to mute the sound in that one little part because the whole damn thing will get claimed because you can kind of hear the song in the background on the live stream. It's stupid. Zach says it holds multiple emails accounts in the sidebar. Very easy to switch between emails. You have like 4 separate accounts linked for different things. I'll have to check that out, Zach. Now, when I say I've never figured it out, what I really should say is I've never taken the time to try to figure it out. That's really how I should put it. As Vincent says, I'm lazy. So I've never really taken the time to try to figure it out. So maybe I got to do that. All right, everybody, got to roll. Member stream starts 1/2 hour before the game tonight, which I assume is at puck drop is at 7. Member stream is at 6:30. And let's just do the thing. Oh, and the next Tuesday is the Halloween video, because I always do the Halloween video in one of the recaps closest to Halloween. So that one will be next Tuesday. I think that's the Ducks. Do I have a Duck uniform? Do I have anything that's Ducks? I'll have to figure that out. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the super chats. Thanks for all the support. Yeah, the Flames are a hot mess, Deadly Flames. It can't get worse. It can't get worse. All right, everybody. We'll see you tonight.